All right, are we back up? Test, test. Can y'all refresh? Tell people to refresh if you can hear me. Let's see. We back? We might be back. Looks like we're back. Hey, we had some internet issues right there. Glad that didn't happen during the big stream earlier today. Okay, yeah. Anyway, it's me, the Beetlejuice. I'm used to things not going perfectly. They don't have to. We're just here, getting by indefinitely, century after century, as one does. Anyway, if you missed the stream earlier, right now I am rendering a replay mod. What do you call it? Replay mod video of what we did earlier today. This whole stream tonight is not going to be a traditional HermitCraft live stream because we did that earlier today. Instead, this is going to be us going back through the last few days of footage and making some time lapses. So if you ever wondered how your favorite hermits make their time lapses, here is a chance for you to learn. Also, the YouTube stream might have actually entirely died. Let me verify that. Okay, so YouTube is going to need a new chat. The URL just died for the original YouTube. We got the new URL now. Can replay mod still do gamma boost? Yes, but the problem is, Kindleless, we're trying to show the areas I torched up, and so it doesn't really show up very well here in the thing otherwise. Okay, so let's get this going. We are about 10 seconds away from this first replay mod time-lapse being rendered. If all goes well, we should be able to then load it up here in the Discord for everybody. Not Discord, the OBS. Yeah, OBS. So, that means we can come over here. We can hit browse. We can go to replay videos. This, okay. We're going to show that. So this is what we just rendered. There's some bad clips at the beginning, but what we just rendered was me basically building a lava cobble water pillar to put ladders inside of, and then running around lighting all this. This is what we did over the course of about 2 hours during the HermitCraft stream day. If you missed that stream earlier, now it's like you were there. Awesome. Am I muted? Okay, good. No, people can hear me. Awesome. Alrighty. So you guys got the idea. So yeah, that would have been a bad replay mod to use the gamma boost in, because if I turn on the gamma boost here, you can't tell where the torches went, and that's slightly less impressive. Now, another thing we can do, though, is from a slightly different angle, like up here. Oh, yeah, this is Doc's area that we came up to later. We can come up here maybe and kind of show how things went from another way. I don't know. Honestly, it's kind of hard to... Yeah. But anyway, basically we created this big ladder well during the stream that goes below our house. So there we go. Awesome. People can hear me. Yep, we're already at the Beetlejuice. Thanks to people tipping during HermitCraft stream day earlier. We are 25 away from the next phase camera expansion. The Beetlejuice is $50 milestones. So anyway, here we go. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. So, that was just a demo of what Replay Mod does. But one of the things that we need to do is come down here, and one of the most important things to do with Replay Mod is to always take a screenshot of what is in the video, actually. Because we have way too many Replay Mod files. Every time I open the game, it automatically generates them. Joel Graves, Tippin' 5, says, on spring break, so I actually have a few moments to check out the new season and the stream, but only a few. Well, thank you so much, Joel Graves, for joining us. Either way, that puts us now 20 away from the next phase camera expansion. Appreciate your support in the show. Opening and closing replay mod files is also not fast. I've been kind of thinking, like, in previous replay mod streams, I had, what do you call it? Setup. Pinball setup off to the side. And there's no way to do that with the real pinball machine in here. And also I'm not really set up for the other machine. But yeah, we might figure out something to do while these things render. We do have a new addition to the Mario Kart thing that I can announce. So we haven't drawn him in yet, but our friend ZF is going to be joining us for that. And so that is a real treat. But he's not on the flyer. So we do have to draw that at some point between now and Friday. He wants to be drawn as a Mii racer with a, what do you call it? Goomba head or something. So that'll be a weird one. Okay, so I had made a marker on this. Let's go ahead and take that back down. So we're back in replay mod in a different file now to figure out what that is. Well, we'll find out how close I was to the Wither when Scar and Grian's episode come out. It's no good for me to be messing with their stuff. Hey, welcome, Sir Dio. So we're gonna... So, let's see. If we hit play here... So, I made a replay mod marker here, and I don't know why I did that. Because, theoretically, I did that because something important happened. Although, maybe it's just me being done with the stuff that was important. Okay. Let's try this. Let's pause real quick. And we're going to move this to the 30-second mark. Then we're going to come over here and we're going to set this one to 0, like 0 seconds, 0 minutes. And maybe, is this the clip where I did the roof? Maybe it is. Maybe it's where I did the back side of the roof. So let's try playing from camera position here. DJ Frogtime says the shutters on the windows look neat. Thank you. Okay, yeah. So this is definitely me working on the house. And now that I know specifically which clip it is, or which part of the house it was, we're going to actually yeah. We don't want to be at that angle. We want to be at this angle. Okay. So this can fill as much of the frame as possible. So we're going to go back to there. We're going to remove that position keyframe. We're going to add a new one over here. Okay, now we're going to, let's see, we're going to call this HC9-003-RP- rear roof redo A1. Save and render. We'll see how that goes. Hey Emily, glad you're enjoying the streams. Welcome Alexis. Howdy Notorious LSP. Welcome everybody. We are working on concepts for time lapses. Now the thing is, the time lapses render way quicker if we don't show the preview. But it's, hey Jenny lady, yep, this is a replay mod stream. So earlier we kind of did, normally I would do my live show during this time slot. It would be called HermitCraft 9 live. But this is more like HermitCraft 9 chill. We're just gonna chill, gonna do some replay mod, hang out, that sort of thing. So you'll see we were down to about 3 minutes on the preview, or 3 minutes on the render until we turn the preview on. Now we're staying at 3 minutes. It's not going up, it's not going down. Now it's going up. Okay. So looks like for the first part I was actually working on the other side of the roof there. So we're going to need 2 angles for this is what I'm realizing. That's fine. Centauratron says, I've never seen a replay mod stream. Yeah, so basically at this point, I've got almost all of the next episode edited except for some of the time lapses. So I'm going back through all the footage of me doing the build, and I am setting up cameras and timing and stuff like that. Janie says, I've been struggling to understand replay mod, so this works perfectly. Yeah, this is going to be kind of an educational behind-the-scenes stream. Right now, I'm not really narrating what I'm doing because I'm waiting. Like, rendering is mostly waiting. But yeah. Have I tried punching a wall yet? Well, I don't really need to punch the walls for the roof replacements. I'm replacing the roofs. See, this is a good angle for this second half of this bit. But I'm realizing I needed the front half of the house for the beginning. And honestly, you can't even really see what I'm doing there too well. Rendering is snack time. Yeah, I actually, so I ran to the grocery to get food to make dinner. And I was making dinner, and I'm looking at the clock on the oven. And it's like 7:05. And I'm looking at my phone, and it's like 8:05. And I'm like, why? Do I have an hour and 25 minutes till the next stream, or do I have 25 minutes? And then I'm like, oh no, the oven clock isn't connected to the internet. So luckily the food was already almost done by that point. But I had kind of a quick dinner. I am back in action now. Let's see. That is going. Yeah, the oven's in a different time zone. I know, right? So it looks like a little bit of the tail end of this render is not really necessary because I think I forgot to hit the marker until I was basically after I finished. So that's fine. Devin Crotty says that's why the stream is an hour earlier than I was expecting. Oh, yeah, because in the UK... Yeah, for Europe, your time hasn't changed yet, not for another few weeks. Okay. Welcome, Chain, who says, good day, Joe, from the Minecraft Upside Down in Australia. Alrighty. So, basically now I can go ahead and I can show you guys via... I'll have OBS load that file directly, and I'll show you what it looks like. The actual render. So this is now in real time. It looks a lot prettier and less choppy. And I'll obviously only be using parts of this. But it's just kind of easier to do the full 30 seconds on every camera angle, sync them up, and then jump between them, because Final Cut Pro has really good multi-camera functionality. Okay, so now we're out of that, and we are back here. So I'm going to hit close. So, okay. Basically, we fly around like in creative mode in Minecraft, or in spectator mode. It's basically using the spectator mode flight engine here. And so what we maybe want to do is we want to roll this back to this time code, which is like basically 00, 0. And we're going to let it play for a second. So it's loading in. Okay. So now we can see that when we started this session, when we first logged in here, we were halfway done with the roof. So now I think what I want to do is I want to start with a high angle here, where I'm kind of showing it from this side. So we're going to come in, and we've got two types of keyframes. Time keyframes, which affects the speed of the playback, and position keyframes, which are where the camera is. You can have the position keyframes in different places if you want to have the camera move, or you can have the position keyframes be in the same place if you want it static. We're just doing a quick static camera. So let's see here. We're going to do front roof redo for that file name. We're going to hit render real quick. Now it's got to load the world and do all these things. Basically, it's rerunning all of the network traffic. 46 minutes. What? Okay, good. It's rerunning all the network traffic. Replay mod captures all the packets that go between the client and the server and back for your entire gaming session. Then it replays them, or at least the group of packets that you care about based on the time code. What if I did the camera from above for the whole roof time lapse? It would look very flat, Mahis. It wouldn't read very well because of the colors we're using. It's not very high contrast. Devin Crowdy says, I learned you can open your inventory in replay mod. Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. Okay. So anyway, if we click show preview here, you'll see that this is... Oh, I should have turned on the show preview for the beginning part. But basically for the parts where I'm on the front side of the house, we could use it from this angle and vice versa for the other ones. Now, one thing I could try doing is having it from a... instead of having it look straight down, having it look diagonally down from the completed section of the roof. Okay. So really, we don't need this entire... I'm not sure that anything I'm doing in the background there will even be visible from this angle. But we'll let it render so the files end up being the same length. It just makes syncing them up easier. What's the file size of the average replay mod session save? Well, the thing you got to remember is that Minecraft limits each client connection to 20 kilobits a second. So that means that the replay mod file is going to max out at 20 kilobits a second because it's just saving the packets. So replay mod files are way smaller than video files because all of the textures and stuff aren't sent back and forth. The client already has those, right? Yup, America changed time zones. Woo! So, yeah, there was a little bit where I was running around in the front of the house there. What's going on over there? Oh, bumblebees flying past. Okay. What hermit do I think has the most powerful computer? I'm not sure. Honestly, they're all pretty comparable for the most part. Like, my computer is really powerful, except that the graphics card is 6 years old, because it's very hard to buy a new graphics card without buying a completely new computer. And unfortunately, I just bought a new hard drive, motherboard, and CPU before the graphics card shortage got super bad. I was like, oh, it's a little bad right now. It'll get better. And so I've got it. So now they're just like, well, just if your graphics card's that old, you should probably replace everything. And I'm like, I just replaced everything else. I refuse to do that. Yeah, replay mod is very well designed. Okay. So if we pop back over here real quick, we select the file. We probably are only going to care about the first bit of this, really. But here we go. So there's me scaffolding up. It's a little dark out, doing the front there. Zoom, 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 zip, zip, zip. Going quick, 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 quick. Ta-da! And then we would probably switch camera angles there, so, you know, you guys have already seen the rest. Okay. Yeah, some of the hermits have sponsorship deals where they got sent good PCs, but, like, I don't know. I mean, it's not my job to keep track of who got money from what. So, okay. So then I marked something over here. And I don't know what I marked or why. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to save our current keyframes for later in case we need them. Save as roof refit front. Okay. Then we're going to clear out all the keyframes. Yes. Now, we're going to jump to my point of view so that no matter where we are when we jump forward here, we'll follow my camera in my player in spectator mode. Yeah, I'm down here, Pumpkin Plays. Howdy. Okay, so why would I put a marker here? Oh, is this when Gem came to bother me? Dang it. There's too many options. Oops. Yeah, I can't imagine any reason that I would have put a marker in here if it wasn't this was when Gem came to bother me. But we're not going to use that in the episode, so we don't need it. So instead, we're going to jump back here. Hey to the back, glad you could join us. Ivoltry says, what time is HHH tomorrow? For Americans, it's an hour later than usual. For Europeans, it's the same time. It's 8 p.m. GMT. So it's going to be 3 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. GMT. Okay. So now... Okay. We need to... In order to show the progress of what this is, we need to take a screenshot. I forgot to take the screenshot earlier. We need to jump to a point in the timeline where it would be really clear what we're working on. So we'll show this roof being partially completed in the screenshot so we can find this again later if we need it. Then we're going to exit replay. Slapperoo 10D says, Joe, why is your webcam thing so small? Well, the camera gets bigger when we hit tipping milestones, and we are 20 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay. Centauratron says, oh no, I just died and lost 40 levels of experience. Oh, that is most unfortunate. The weather hurts more than you think sometimes, clearly. Okay, so we go back to the replay viewer. We know that's that segment. That's that segment. What was it? 12:48 a.m. What was I doing at 12:48 a.m.? Oh, I was doing my Wordle. We don't really, like, need to show that, but if we wanted to, we could. So we set up a time code here. So just for everybody who wants to learn, you know, we set the first time code to 0, 0, 0. Set the second one to set the time code to, like, I don't know, 15 minutes or whatever. I don't think I spent 15 minutes on this. I think I forgot to log out. So let's just set that to 10 minutes. Staying still. Boom. Render camera path. And we'll say Wordle-267. RPA1. Done. Render. So this is a dead simple example. You saw how many things I had to click to do this. So this is me filling in my new day's Wordle. And I put a sign there. And then I think I forgot to log out. Okay. Yeah. So we can hit cancel rendering. And the way that we've set up our rendering on this, if I do a partial render, it'll still be okay. Like the file won't corrupt. So watch. It's super short because we don't need the full 30 seconds, but there we are. So we hit close. We're going to take a screenshot so I know what that footage is for. Exit replay. I wasn't going to teach you how to play Wordle. I was going to teach you how I'm teaching replay mod. Okay. So this 1 minute thing, I logged in to do the Wordle, and then I realized I needed to do, like, move the laundry or something. So we're going to delete that 56-second replay. That's lost forever, a long time, yes. 6 minutes at 4:16 p.m. yesterday. Was that when I ran into Impulse? No, what was I doing over here? Oh, yeah, I was recording this outro bit. Okay. Or no, I was leaving after recording the outro bit. So this is basically worthless footage. Okay. We'll just take a quick screenshot of me on the boat in case I decide I need it for some reason. Does replay mod record voices? No. It's just the network packets about the game, not the voice server. Okay. That means I think there might have been a segment in this one that I need to go back for and get with interacting with Impulse and doing some flying and stuff. But let's come back to that. Let's go check what this file is. I've got 2 markers in here. Are those open and close markers? Okay, so this is probably when I did the first part of the roof. So you talked about like doing a top-down view. Unfortunately, that's going to look kind of flat and not very dynamic. So it's hard to do these in this sort of way, but okay. Let's pause this and we're going to jump to, that is 226. So 226. And then that we have marked as 30. Yeah, we're not going to need this long. Let's just do a 15-second one. So that's 31 minutes roughly. Boom. Hit save. Same position. Render. Roof. I'm going to say garage roof. Save, render. Star Wars Corrupt says that's a great house. Thank you. You know what I'm realizing is it would have been better to have it from that angle. As soon as I'm seeing that in the preview, we're gonna throw that out. Boom. Yeah, this is gonna look way better from here. Maybe from here. Yeah, let's try this as our camera angle and render camera path. So that garage one where we have A1, we're going to say A2 because this is a reattempt. How much money do I want to teach you Wordle? I mean, it's pretty simple. You just guess 5-letter words, and the letters that were right but in the wrong place are yellow, and the letters that are right and in the right place are green. I just taught you Wordle. That's literally it. Guy Frostheart says, what advice can you offer me? I have trouble sticking with structures because I'm trying to get them to look like what I want to. I don't know what you mean, sticking with my structures. Like, I mean, I just make whatever makes sense at the time. So I don't know how to tell you to do things that don't make sense to you. Like, that seems like something you'd ask somebody else for advice on. Yeah, Wordle is a website. If I thought of putting brick stairs on the walls to create a missing brick look, I have. That's going to be part of the... So the next episode is going to be kind of more of a refinement pass and working on the garden. It's kind of like the game Mastermind, but with letters instead of colored pegs. Cthulhu says, what a beautiful build, Joe. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. So yeah, this is maybe not an optimal camera angle for the entire thing, but it's a decent enough camera angle for the beginning of it. Yeah, so as I switch to the front there, I'm thinking I might do this again without the day to night changes. Because unlike the cave video where you really need to see where the torches go, this is a totally different thing. Okay, so we're going to hit close. And we're going to hit render. After we turn on the... we're going to change this to B. We're going to say lit. Render. So this is very similar, but not the same. Yep, this is the house from Elvira's House of Horrors from the pinball machine. Okay, so with the lighting on like this, we're not going to have the night and day changes. That's just hitting Z to turn on the night vision mode. Super quick, super easy. Okay. Ivoltry says, you must be super close to your camera. I can hear everything you swallow. So funny. Sorry. I have to hydrate. When I design buildings in creative mode, do I put them all in one world or put them in themed worlds? I only started doing buildings in creative mode like 3 months ago. And that was only because the survival server was turned off at the time. So I only have one creative world, but it's new. So I haven't needed more than one. Yeah. We can try this again with a camera pan as well. But for right now, I find that like, if you have a good static camera version of it, and then you also do a camera with some motion, you can use the multicam editing in Final Cut Pro and jump between the two pretty well. It gives you a lot of options for the actual episode. Yep, this is indeed lit, Gusty Gale. Oh, boy. I didn't realize how tired I was from that stream earlier. Put a lot of energy into that. I had a lot of fun. So thank you, everybody, for joining me for that. I've seen a lot of folks came back. Crazy Dog Mom Texas says, this mod is like magic to me. Yeah, it's pretty good. It really opens up a lot of options cinematically. I don't know. But yeah, I could so what I could do here is I could start try. So sometimes it's fun to kind of try and imagine what you want the camera to do before you start putting the keyframes in. But I think what we probably want to have happen here, if I'm just eyeballing this, which I mean I am, but we want to have the camera. So we're going to go in and we're going to save this in our presets. So save as static garage cam. Save. Then we're also going to take a screenshot so we know what we're looking at. Then we're going to clear the keyframes. And no, actually we don't want to clear all of them. We only want to clear the position keyframes. So we're going to start that one here. And then we're going to have it come over to here maybe? How much of this actually gets done on the back? Not enough to be worth it. So we'll just come to about here so we can have that in frame at the end. And if we go halfway between the two, let's go ahead and have this pull out a little bit further in the midpoint here. So the point where it would be in the middle, we're going to go ahead and pull that back out. And now you can see, if I get rid of this crazy overlay here, there's a little bit of an arc to the camera path. And so we've set 3 keyframes for the camera path, 2 keyframes for the time. And we can now render that as C1. I don't have a good naming system for these. This is just me. I usually work on them in the same day, so I'll get to see it again. It's fine. Okay. Well, iVoltry, I'm glad you stuck around. So this time there's going to be a little bit more drama. As you can see, the camera is already starting to shift around here. And like I said, watching the preview makes it move slower, but it also gives me time to be bored. And that's good because then when I'm sitting here bored, I'm like, could I have framed this better somehow? Is that forest on the left interesting enough? Should I have had the whole camera pulled further to the right? Or where do I want the center of focus here? You know, it really just kind of helps to have a little bit of room to breathe with it, you know? So one thing I'm noticing is that this got over there way earlier than I was thinking it would. Doesn't seem like it's a problem or anything, but like if I'm already working on the backside of the roof there, that's actually pretty good. Yeah. So like these parts here, I'm actually not far enough over to really see. I don't even know where I am at that point. I might be down at the grindstone or whatever, cutting up blocks or something. Can you use this to do the Citizen Kane intro, like fly in through a window to the protagonist? Oh, absolutely. You can do all sorts of wild stuff with this. A cinematography. Cinematography is a word. I was trying to say cinematographically speaking. Though that was where it was getting weird. Am I implementing music for a more dynamic time lapse? No, because the time lapse is going to go under parts where I'm talking to make it more dramatic. But yeah, so you see how now I'm generally where I want to be in frame and stuff. I wasn't trying to say cinematically. I know how to say cinematically. I was trying to combine cinematography and that. Cinnamon graphy. Yes. Everybody go eat your cinnamon. No, actually don't. You'll get sick. Okay. So. Either way. So we can now exit this replay. I feel like we got enough of what we need here. Because these things, we're going to use a few seconds. Even though I'm exporting these 10, 15, 30 seconds at a time, I'm only going to use a little bit of each one. Yep, it's poetry time-lapse section at the end. Okay. So let's see. So these, between here, if it has a picture in it, that means I've reviewed it and I know what the footage is. This one is 7 seconds. So that was me accidentally logging in. We're going to go ahead and delete that. 7 seconds, yeah. Don't need it. 7 minutes, that might be something. Or it might not be. Okay. So let's see. We can speed this up and see what I go work on. 8x speed. Why is my camera so small? Oh, the camera gets bigger when people tip. We are currently 20 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay. This might have been like when I was like texting Gem or messaging Gem or whatever to be like, hey, when can you come over to talk about yards? It's like, I want to work on the landscaping. How busy are you? Yeah, I am not sure that there's anything in this episode that, or in this footage that is of value. Okay. Yeah, it's just me removing a bunch of dirt. Yeah, some of the roof, or not roof floors. Okay. So, what I do if I'm gonna, like, I might want to hold on to this just in case, even though I don't know why. If I just, out of an abundance of caution, don't want to throw the footage away. What I do is I just look at, I put the thumbnail as the chests and workbench. Okay. Exit replay. Yep, this is basically building the episode stream. This is about how we do replay mod time lapses. So, see, I see stuff like that. Yeah, these ones, this is like, okay, I'm keeping this just in case I realize later that something happened nearby and I need the footage, but I'm not going to review it again unless there's a good reason. Okay. So, what do I do in this episode? There's no markers. Or not episode, this segment. This is this when I come in and actually do the end stone? Because that would be super handy. I do need the end stone. Okay. Okay, so this is from the stream a few nights back, because I remember messaging Corrales about that. There's a bumblebee running past. Oh, people wanted to know where Doc's bee went. It went somewhere off in the forest here. Hold on. Oh, well, I don't know where it went. But yeah, at this point, what am I doing? I really should be going in and doing these thumbnails right after I do every recording. So that way I know what's going on. Have a good night, Iggy. Okay. What are those coordinates for? Where am I going? Oh boy, this is why people pay people to take notes on the stuff they do. Okay. So this is gathering stuff in the nether. I don't think I had anything too exciting happen in the nether or I would have marked it in replay mod. Oh yeah, I kept getting lost. Okay, so this is just me looking for okay. Is it? Okay, this is when I got
lost in impulses thing. I do actually need this maybe, because I referenced this at some point, but I think it didn't make the final cut, but I might need it. Okay. Hey, we're doing replay mod review. Okay, so then I came out over here. Okay, yeah, I think we know what this episode, or what this segment is. There's nothing of value. So we're going to get going. Hey, just got a tip rolling in from Joanna for 15 who says, thank you for doing what you do. Ploopity boopity boo. Art is good. Well, thank you, Joanna. That puts us 5 away from the next Face Gamer expansion. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Welcome, Tin Arland. We are doing replay mod footage review for the next episode. Okay, so this is an hour and 23-minute segment. This is probably something more important than that. Ooh, and I've got markers in there. I pressed the M button during the recording. So let's make sure that nothing super urgent happens about halfway between here and there. Okay, so it looks like that's actually when I do get started. And this might be, if I had to guess, this might be when I came in and started doing the end stone, which we started doing over here. But let's give that a quick go. Okay. Well, we're well past the marker, so whatever I thought I was doing at the time. Oh, is this my first caving expedition? Oh, okay, this is great. This is good to know. Okay. So, email. I don't know that we actually need any replay mod footage from this caving part, but we're going to go ahead and yeah. So this is when we went and no, this can't be when we found the brick. What is this? Hold on. Is it just me mining in general? Why would I mark that? Maybe I thought I might fall to my death or something? Huh. I wish we had a way to name the event markers during the actions that are occurring. Cause like, yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, this is Cub coming to talk to me. And I'm like, hey, why is, oh, it's like super slow mode. Okay, so this is actually valuable. So we're gonna say Cub fan shutters. Save. Okay. So I think that there's actually a thing coming up. If I stand here, dang it, where is it? He's gonna come shoot at us, right? Oh, you're right, I can't see my inventory. That's cool, I didn't know that. Huh. So, is it just me? Why is Comfan invisible? Well, either way, this still doesn't seem to be us working on... I really want the footage of where I start putting in all of the foundation end stone here. And we haven't found it yet. Oh, I marked my first diamond find. Oh, you're right, you're right. Okay, I don't think we technically need that. Okay. Hey, it looks like we just got a tip via PayPal. So thank you very much to Emily for tipping 5, who says, really enjoying the stream. What Y level do you recommend mining for diamonds? I'm at negative 58 and I'm having a hard time finding any. I don't know the answer to that. I have not gotten that far into the meta of I'm just mining wherever I'm mining. But thank you so much, Emily. That's going to put us evenly at our next face camera expansion milestone. So, you know what? Why don't we play that song that the Beetlejuice loves so much in celebration? Where is it?
Webcam expander.
Dear live stream views, will you watch my face? It took up your screens and began to fade. It replaced some pixels from a game you like. And this is my job, so I wanna be a webcam expander.
Webcam expander.
It's off color optics from a broken cam, and some other child just throws up its hands. The Jost is beetle for showtime now. It's a heady job, and he wants to be a webcam expander.
Webcam expander.
Webcam expander.
So there we go. Thank you very much, Emily, for putting us... Oh, no, not more music. No creepers, no pain. Anyway, thank you so much, Emily, for putting us over the top there. We are now 50 away from the next face camera expansion. Alrighty. Boy. Okay, so I just need to find the part where I start doing the wall. Unfortunately, I spent a lot of time like just in the spider spawner the last few days, and I didn't do a good job of marking those segments. Okay, I think this is me going to the spider spawner. Yep. Ah, it's so loud. Sorry. Let's just try jumping ahead a bit. Pff, more spiders. Jump ahead a little more. Then I get on a boat. Come over here. Okay, so this is definitely not me starting on the, what am I doing? Oh, this is how I went and got the end stone. So we might actually want that, but yeah, we don't need that now. Okay. Hey, Surreal. Glad to have you joining us. This is kind of a weird stream. We're going behind the scenes in, like, the software I use to make time lapses. Okay. So we're going to take a screenshot of this so we know that this is the one where we went and mined that out. Or set a thumbnail. Then we're going to exit the replay. Okay. Let's see. Assume it has a whole video on what levels to mine at for different things. Awesome. Yeah, that's not really my area of expertise. Expertise, huh? Oh boy. Well, I am really starting to fade. We're so close to having this episode basically done, though. It would be silly not to get this knocked out. Okay, 2 hours and 51 minutes. So this could be anything here. Jill Jackson says, it's really nice to get a look into the editing process. Yeah. This is just the time lapse creation process. The editing process is like a whole separate thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and if we jump to this time code here. Let's see what we got. Waiting. So it's giving me a please wait screen, but for some reason it's not rendering in OBS. But yeah, so waiting. The longer the replay mod file is, it has to basically rerun all of the network traffic as fast as it can to jump forward. Okay, look. This is what we were looking for, though. This is that. Whoops. This is... Okay, fantastic. So I'm guessing I marked the point at which this was finished. So we're going to go ahead and let's put this at the 15-second mark here. Whoops, that's fine. I know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it weird. Be cool. Okay. So actually, let's have this come in here. I think Scar is in this. Wait, did I mark this because this is now the point where Scar shows up? Hold on. Or did I mark that because that was the point where I was done? No, I marked that because it was the point where I was done. Okay, so my instinct was correct. Okay. Yeah, so we want the full bright on. So we're going to hit, well, real quick. Let's come in maybe a little closer on that first one. Okay, render. HC9-003-RP-endstone fly out. Oh my gosh. Fly out front A1. Save render. Okay. So we're going to show preview. We might have some unnecessary early footage here because apparently I ran and unloaded a bunch of chunks. The fun thing is if I cancel this right when it actually starts, I'll know the time code for right when it actually starts. Yeah, okay, so I apparently completely ran out of the area at one point, and then I came back. I really should have marked the beginning of this time lapse. Pink Slime says, I feel even more backstage than usual when I catch my screen. Yeah, this is very backstage. Oh, that's me putting on shutters. Oh, so I put the shutters on too. Then Jevin comes by. Then we have that talk about that. Okay. Yeah, that got cut from the video right there because that overlapped what Cleo said. So we still aren't actually at the point where we're getting any usable footage for... Oh, there it was. Yeah. So let's find out what the time code is for like where we are right now. So we are now at 22:24. So let's go back to 1830 for this. Save, render, and then we're gonna fly out front A2. Quick refinement pass there. This is faster than trying to, like, you can't really skim through the replay mod footage the way you would normal footage because it's rerunning the network traffic. So basically the footage doesn't exist yet. The action can only play forward. So we're creating the footage. So now this should super. So while we're still close in with the camera, boom, that starts there. That goes there. I'm working on the other side, replacing those. I'm bad at signs, so it takes a while. We roll around different parts of the building, adding stuff. Okay. So we don't necessarily need all of this footage, but we're getting enough here. Yeah, there's me putting in some windows. Jeff drives past. Okay. Oh, here's the scar segment. I actually might need to... Actually, we should really, in some ways, wrap this up there. Because I don't start incorporating scar stuff right away, do I? Are the windows done by the end of this video? I don't think they are, because I have to go get the sand from elsewhere and the glow lichen. Okay, so a few things that we're gonna do. We're gonna kill this. We're gonna mark that scar shows up sometime around here. Okay, wait, where are we? 56. So let's end that at like 50. Have a good night, Surreal. And let's ban that bot. Don't buy followers, people. Okay. I'm going to be live streaming D&D on April 9th as part of a charity event for Child's Play on the Mercy Road stream. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, so this would be a good length for that if we were going to render it again. Okay. Show preview. So it starts to pull out a little bit here. And then I run through here, start doing that. Okay. So the camera's still tight enough. Sorry. You can kind of see what's going on, but it's not too tight. I'm replacing those. I'm putting those pillars in. Jevin comes by with the horse next, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's basically done by here. Except for that wall you can see through the garage. Pink Slime says this looks way more demanding than using a camera account, but you can control a bunch of stuff you can't otherwise. Okay. So with a camera account, you can only control the camera while it's live, but with this, I can move the camera around in 3D space afterwards, which has a big value add. Okay. I don't think we added anything else at this point. Yeah, that's just me looking out windows. Oh, here's Scar showing up. Hold on. So we need to actually get the time code for that. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna open keyframe presets, save as end foundation front flyout, save. Now we need to remove this. We're going to set this one for, let's say 40 minutes. Save. Okay, so if we go to this point, is Scar already here? Because this Scar segment is kind of long. And so I need to have, and also we nod a lot when we talk, which makes the camera super wobbly. So I need to get some footage from different angles during this conversation to make this look more natural. Okay, so he's not here yet. I'm gonna remove the let's try this from right here, and then we're gonna hit speed 1x, and we're gonna see when does Scar actually arrive. What is he doing? He's wearing a pumpkin head nearby. Okay, so this is when he's on the approach to my place. Now that's 42:41. We're gonna okay. So 1x. I'm gonna get outside of his head. And let's kind of show the approach maybe from down here. Okay, this is going to be way different than what we were doing before, because this time we're creating something that's a real-time alternative camera view, and that is not going to be the same at all. Okay. So we want to come up to about here, maybe? And so then as we're talking, we want to be maybe coming up and around the house with like keeping me and Scar in frame, but showing kind of the scope of it. Shard Sickle says, this is so cool. I didn't know the replay mod had so many possibilities. Oh yeah, it's really impressive. So then I want to get back behind us here so that we can kind of show. Now, I'm going to be splicing this in with other things. This is not going to be a continuous shot in the actual episode. This is just going to be more so that the stuff that we're doing... Oh, this is way too fancy. This would probably make somebody sick if they tried to watch this continuously, because it's not intended to be watched continuously. So... let's see. Okay, in some ways, it would be interesting to have like somebody looking down through the window at Scar and I. I don't know if there's a good angle for that right here, but and then have it looking at us like that, maybe. I don't know. We're gonna come back out. Really show us both close up here. Okay. So we're still talking, we're still talking. What's going on over there? Oh, that's looking up at this window up here. Hold on. So we actually probably want to move this one a little earlier. Oops, and then pull that up to here. Oh, this is going to look absolutely wild in the renderer, but when I splice it in, it'll make sense. I know I've said that like 15 times, but like it's going to look really kind of like a lot. Okay. Then we're going to come back through. And we're going to actually, we should come in and show Scar in here. Pause. Roll that back to here. Put this back to where we were in the present. Hey, welcome, Hard Luck. That's going to be problematic. Oh, wait, showing these. So then we need a quick go around here. And then another one here. And then This is absolutely. You could see all the keyframes around here. This is pretty chaotic. So I'm gonna have this kind of pull out a little bit here to a view from between the frames of the house. Whoops, did not want that. We do not want that. We're gonna remove that. Okay. Okay, so then Scar runs away. And then... boom. Okay. Whew. Looks like a terrifying roller coaster. Yeah, that's why, like I said, I would be switching back and forth between certain parts of this. Certain parts of that are intended to be usable, and certain parts of that are just to move the camera to the next part. So, HC9-003-RP-real-time scar A1. Real-time scar active. Because we might do a static camera for that too. We're going to hit render on that. Cub fan rating coming. Oh no. No, don't rate me, Cub fan. This is a replay mod stream. Never mind, everyone's here anyway. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, but we're actually not recording today. We're doing behind-the-scenes replay mod work. Cub, I was just trying to show people how I use replay mod to make time lapses or what do you call them? Like flyby footage here. So, yeah, this is... Now, with the preview on, this is going to take even longer to render. I was just setting up a big... kind of swooping shot. So I've got Final Cut Pro that I use for my editing, and Final Cut Pro has really good multi-camera editing options. So I can set up a few static cameras and then have one kind of swooping action camera here, and switch between those and my first-person Minecraft view in the segment that I'm working on. And it usually comes out pretty good. So, like, here we have, like, a dynamic shot of Scar coming to greet me. So you see how my head turns back and forth real quick? I whip around to look at the house and back right there. You would not want to see that in the first person because it would be disorienting, right? So this way I've got this shot of Scar jumping into frame. I look back and look at him. He's asking about Doc's house. I might switch to the first-person view for that because we're both looking at the same thing. But then I switch back to the kind of action camera here. So we kind of swoop along the path and come in like this. So now not every frame of this is going to be usable because some of this I'm going to intermix, like I said, with the first-person footage or possibly static camera footage. So even though Scar's a little out of frame there, that's not a huge problem because I wasn't going to use this particular segment. I have reviewed this footage with Scar so much. I could probably do the dialogue for it by heart. I looked at it like 25 times today because, like, I've been editing the next episode and I've been watching all these, every bit of dialogue in the episode because I kept explaining the same things to all the different hermits as they would visit about the house. And so, yeah, this is not really a usable segment here, but the camera will now be about where it needs to be when we actually do get into place for the next part that is usable. Okay, so right about here, that's where we start having usable footage again. Scar's looking at the sign. I'm talking to him about it. You know, we've got B-dubs' monolith rising in the background. Anonymous says, I don't think I've ever seen this behind-the-scenes stuff. It's amazing. Yeah. Thank you. I'm eating a gigapie. Nom 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 nom. But yeah, just having Scar and I looking at the house, cutting back and forth between our first-person perspectives, because there's a lot of times where I'm trying to look at him to maintain like eye contact in the first-person point of view, but it doesn't really do it doesn't give a good sense of really what's going on in the same way. Yep, we're at the Beetlejuice. It's me.
I can talk like this if you need. Oh boy.
I've really put a lot of energy into the stream earlier for the HermitCraft stream days. So now this is more of a chill editing stream. So this fly out here is going to work pretty well, as Scar and I are kind of talking about the entire size and shape and structure of the house. You got a great little pan past, as the camera lifts, you can kind of see Impulse's house in the background now, and Tango's, because I'm talking to Scar about how I'm trying to keep in mind that the whole neighborhood is really dynamic and visually stunning, and I want my house to be dynamic and visually stunning too, you know? And so it's kind of cool to have a pan where we're showing the other people's houses a little bit. Yeah, I saw the Cub Raid. I said, welcome, Cub Raiders, you know? So anyway, so this part here is actually, like, because in theory I could just film a pan past all this stuff at any time, but it's kind of cool if I have the multi-camera editing stuff set up so it's actually perfectly synchronized. Average Thing says, is the audio track separate when you're editing between these video perspectives in the same clip? Yeah, so the way that Final Cut Pro's multi-camera editing works is I have the audio track keyed. I basically say, hey, I want to use the audio track from the first-person recording no matter which video track I'm using. And so, yeah, when I do multi-camera D&D shows, which I haven't done for a while, I could actually have it switch audio tracks as well when I switch cameras, depending on who's talking or why or that sort of thing. George Harris says, this is one of the most interesting streams I've seen in a while. I'm learning a lot tonight. I'm really glad. This is a lot less directly actively entertaining than some of them. Okay, so this part here, we're kind of repositioning the camera more than we're setting the camera up for the next shot, more than we are actively doing something usable with the camera, because you see Scar and I are now out of frame, but that's okay because it's going to pull out as we walk forward, if I'm remembering correctly. Average Thing says, you synchronize the two perspectives and then the rest is easy going. Yeah, basically, I synchronize the two perspectives and then I just say, switch back to this one now. Switch back to this one now. Switch back to this one now. I just, like, it's super easy. It's like almost like a chess clock. But you can do it with like a 4 point of view or 9 point of view chess clock, where the audio is always coming from the first person mode, but I'm pressing the button while I'm watching it live to switch the cameras over, and it records when I switch the cameras over. It's pretty cool. So yeah, so here's a good sweep past what Scar and I are looking at, so that I can turn my head in game to him, but what we're talking about is still visible to the viewer. Azeroth says, the house is looking great. Thank you so much. Okay. So I'm going over there to talk to Scar again. Mr. Hardluck says it's like taping a TV show with multiple cameras. That's exactly what the software was designed for. Yep. One of the reasons I use Final Cut Pro is because it has some of the best multi-camera stuff, or at least it did when I was making D&D videos like 8 years ago. The other software might have caught up better now. Yeah, this is based on The House in Elvira's House of Horrors by Stern Pinball. There's like actually a model of the house on the playfield. And it's in the back box art and stuff too. In the what do you call it? Oh, there's an LCD screen in the back box where the scoreboard is. Oh, my brain is fried. It has been a long day. I spent the whole day editing basically until I did the stream. And then I ran to the store to buy food to make dinner, started making dinner, pull it out of the oven, and I look at the clock and I'm like, oh no, my next stream is starting now, not an hour from now. I misread the clocks because of the daylight savings time change not affecting the oven clock. Yeah, Final Cut is only on Mac OS. Yeah, it's stupid that it's not on the iPad. I know. Because, like, they made this big deal about, like, oh, we've got the iPad Pro, and the iPad Air now has the M1 chip and stuff, but, like, it doesn't work. You know, the software's not for iOS. But yeah, Final Cut, and Kel's Art says, even if other programs have caught up, it left Final Cut Pro to perfect what it was doing. Yeah, I mean, Final Cut Pro's multi-camera editing is stupidly good. It is fantastic. And so that's one of the reasons that I actually wish I had more time to record kind of third-person clips like this to splice in, because it ends up making the video possibly look so much cooler. Average Thing says, it looks like Resolve's implementation is almost identical to Final Cut. Like I said, I haven't used Resolve because... So the thing with Final Cut is you pay $500 for it once and then own it forever. So, like, 4 or 5 months into making videos on YouTube, I was like, I need to upgrade from iMovie. Now, we're going to start cutting through the walls here in the bits between when I need the footage. So don't get too disoriented. But yeah, here's Scar looking up at the windows. So we get a good little view of Scar. Like, his eyes are downturned, unfortunately. And now here's where we're cutting into the wall. We're not going to use this part, obviously. I'm going to be in first-person mode here. And then I tried to get a little bit where we're looking out the windows at the both of us. And yeah, you can kind of see his eyes and my face. Not too well because of the way the post is. It's hard to do dynamic tracking on this sort of thing too well. So that's not going to turn out very well without a lot of tweaking. And honestly, it's not worth the time. So I was trying to get one shot from in there looking out, but that's fine. The camera will pull back out pretty quick. But yeah, since I already paid $500 for Final Cut like 9 years ago, 10 years ago. No, it was before HermitCraft. So I probably paid for Final Cut. Oh no, that's like 11 or 12 years ago. But I'll never have to buy it again. Shardsickle says, how long will the 21,545 frames take to play through the video? Well, this is 60 frames a second on the final video. So, yeah. Yeah, the shot through the window could look good static. We'll come back and try that later, maybe, depending on how much time I have. I really wanted to get this video out today, and then I just kept finding ways to make it better. And the thing is, it's like there's like 11 hermits in this video, maybe 12. And so really just getting it right, like I really, in a lot of ways, the more collabs there are in a video, the harder it is to edit, but the better the end result is if you edit it right. And so I'm going to be really focused on trying to get this one not perfect, because perfect is the opposite of done. But I want to have this one feel like I'm making the most of the footage I captured. Kelzart says, one-time purchase programs are the best. I know, right? I mean, I have a Premiere Pro subscription through Creative Cloud. So, I mean, and I've used Premiere Pro for 3 years at one point when I didn't have a Mac to run Final Cut. But it was just... I just kept losing time. There's too many things in Premiere Pro where it just wasn't optimized for my workflow. And for what I need to do, Final Cut was just better. Superstone says, I always find it interesting what things different hermits cut. It's always nice, like with the dragon fight, my dragon fight footage is going out like last. So I just looked at what everybody else kept in and then kept like the weird stuff Corrales said that nobody else used. So, yeah. Shardsickle says, I'm going to sub to you on YouTube after this. Sorry I didn't sooner. Oh, no need to apologize. Like, almost everyone in the world hasn't subscribed to me on YouTube. It's a very small percentage of people on the planet who subscribe to me on YouTube. I can't judge my value based on that, or I will just feel bad. Duh. It's not a sane way to approach life. So Cheesia says, whoa, we're halfway there. Yep. So as you see, we got the camera still panning around, getting different shots. So this is another example of one where I was trying to look at Scar in the first-person mode, but to be able to cut back and forth to what Scar's talking about, the viewer is going to be better served by switching to a third-person camera than this, than like having me whip my head around in first-person mode. Superstone says, I haven't even subscribed to you on YouTube, and I pay you $10 a month on Patreon. Yeah. Honestly, paying me $10 a month on Patreon is way more support than subscribing on YouTube. I'm not too worried about the algorithm, but I do need to pay rent. Rudon Shaw says, how to grow a majestic hair and beard like you. I mean, I just stopped getting it cut, really. That was most of it. When the pandemic hit, it was just like not going to the barber. Ugh. Sorry, not going to the barber. Yeah. Chansey RN says, this is cool to see. I always wondered how you guys edit videos. Yeah, this is how we generate replay mod footage. Well, technically, this is how we render replay mod footage. If I wasn't streaming, when it says rendering video like this, like my actual whole job right now is to not do anything that would crash the computer. Would rendering process go faster with a bigger graphics card or RAM? I mean, the number one thing I could do to make the thing go faster, right now it's at about 11 minutes. If we turn off show preview, it's dropped by at least 10%, possibly more. But, yeah. So, it's pretty fast. Mysticat Live, we keep getting rated. I'm rendering replay mod footage right now. I'm going to turn the preview back on so people can see it. I was just showing folks how cameras work in the Minecraft replay mod. If I used FFmpeg's, there's a way to compile it with NVIDIA GPU drivers or special GPU-specific code, but I haven't done that. CPU rendering is, at least for the graphics card I have, CPU rendering is slower, but you get better results. Yeah. So NVEnc on the 1080 series is not as good as it is on the 3080 series. Hey, welcome, Mysticat Live. Yeah, replay mod is fantastic. I was showing people earlier how to place keyframes and stuff, and now we are in the middle of a 20-minute replay render. And I was just about to explain, like, normally when this is rendering, that's when I go, like, move the laundry along or empty the dishwasher. So I do a lot of this where I'll set a few keyframes, I'll set it to render, walk away, come back, do it again. Yeah, this is a 20-minute render for like a 1080p 60, which is 60 frames a second 1080p footage, 20 megabits a second bit rate, H.264 as the encoder. Yeah, so we're not rendering 20 minutes of footage. We're rendering about 6 minutes of footage. And so the ratio of like time is like 3:1. Now this part, like I said, folks, we're using this in a multi-camera editing software. So some parts of this is just replay mod moving the camera to where it needs to be next. And I'm going to switch to my first-person footage I previously recorded while we walk around the building there. And then right when Scar comes in to look at everything, see, we've got the camera in the room here. He's looking around because, like, he turned the corner way before I came in. So you see, I'm still, I can't use first-person footage for this very well because I'm still out there. And so I can't see what Scar's looking at until now, right? So now that I'm in the room, it's not quite as important that the camera do exactly what we need it to do. It's going to kind of readjust a little bit, and then we can cut back to it if we need it. Okay. So here's a part where I know I'm using the first-person view, because that's when Scar's telling me I need to build the Ecto-1 in the garage here. So it doesn't matter that I can't see Scar in the third-person camera, because I know which point of view I'm going to use otherwise. But then we can come back to the third-person camera for this part, although I think we're going to clip that wall, so we're probably not going to stay on that for very long. Please don't talk about view numbers because it makes streamers neurotic. Okay, yep, definitely clipping that wall, but that's okay. We don't need to use this part of the footage because we had the first-person view right there is fine. So we'll just do it directly out of my eyes for this part. Chris Giannis in YouTube says, I didn't know you used a mod for the flyby shots. Yep, that's how you have to do it, really. Because you can use a camera account, but you're never going to get just the natural flow that you do with setting keyframes and then having it move like this. Okay, so I'm not sure. I don't think we were wasn't planning on necessarily using this bit, but it actually looks a lot better than I was expecting. I was just trying to reposition the camera out the door, but it's kind of fun having it. So then we switch to my point of view here, because then Scar is going to be examining these posts, which you'll see shortly. Hey, Via's Desk on YouTube. We are currently rendering replay mod footage of a conversation I had with Scar. I'm going to take this footage and I'm going to drop it in side by side with other perspectives in the Final Cut Pro multi-camera editor later, not on the stream, because I'm not streaming from my... I'm streaming from my recording computer right now, because that's what replay mod runs on. What does narcotic mean? Well, that means anything that affects your body, like, physiologically. That's not food or water. But I said neurotic. If you keep telling people that their viewers went up or their viewers went down, then they're not going to focus on making a good show and having fun. They're going to focus on numbers that are ultimately meaningless. It doesn't matter how many people watch my show. It matters whether or not I can afford to buy food and cover rent and health insurance, you know? And as long as people are supporting the show, I'm set. You know, the number of viewers, that's irrelevant. So yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, this is a weird stream anyway. Why is my camera like that? Oh, like this? Because I'm the Beetlejuice. It's hard to see my suit. I'll stand up since we have a minute anyway while we're rendering footage. But yeah, I've actually got a full Beetlejuice. I don't have the trousers on right now, but I have a full Beetlejuice suit, and this kind of gets the complexion a little bit better. And, you know, I can talk like this if it really makes you feel better. Yeah, but neurotic is what I said. It makes streamers neurotic if you're constantly talking about numbers. So then Scar's looking up here. Why did I do this with the camera? I think I'm just moving it somewhere else. Oh, I'm turning the camera around to get the shot that I actually need. Replay mod does weird stuff if you move the camera too aggressively. So even in the bits where I'm not actively... Yeah, see, this is where we actually needed it for Scar looking up at those windows from that angle. Okay. There's both of us looking up. We've got some cool builds in the background. Yeah, don't tell people to hit the like button either. That's not helpful. That's actually against the rules too. Talking about view counts and like counts and telling people to like, it's against the rules. You can take a minute to read them. Do you know a fix for when you start a replay and it has broken block particles everywhere? It usually, when you start a replay and has broken block particles everywhere, usually they all disappear for me within the first like 3 or 4 seconds. Like they all just go poof, right? And so what I would do is I would just add like 3 or 4 seconds of like kind of dead time before whatever I'm trying to do. Hey, Barrett Ludwig, thank you for tipping too, who says, cool to see some behind the scenes HermitCraft, might learn some editing. Yeah, it's really cool. Thank you. That puts us 48 away from our next face camera expansion. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Yeah, the camera does seem to have inertia. That's one of those things where, like I said, there are some parts where I'm intentionally setting the camera up for the next shot, and so I'm not going to use that footage anyway. And some bits where the inertia is intentional. So, like, this is actually a pretty cool shot of both of us now, but while Scar was out of frame, it wasn't really helpful yet. But yeah, you can turn off the camera inertia, but depending on what you're trying to achieve, it might not be helpful. Do I know what causes problems in Asuma's videos? No. I don't. Because he uses totally different software from me for editing and encoding and stuff. So, alrighty, have a good night, Shardsicle. Okay. Also, welcome, Lizzie Mac. I don't know if I greeted you before. I'm very tired at this point. This is editing for episode 3. Rael says, love the suit, Joe. Thank you. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. A76 Shadow says, I usually break it into discrete shots. Yeah, the thing is that, like, if I have a long segment like this, I'll usually set up one kind of roller coaster shot where I just fly all around and get a roughly, like, panning past what I need. And then I'll also set up a few static cameras. And then at that point, I can just drop it into Final Cut Pro and then jump between them in the multicam editor. And it's... So the problem is if I use a bunch of short shots, I have to synchronize all of them in the multicam editor. But with this is one 6-minute shot that exactly matches the 6-minute static shots that exactly matches the 6-minute recorded first-person OBS segment, right? So they're all lined up. Is YouTube your job? Not really, no. I make less off YouTube a month than my health insurance costs. So no, YouTube is not my job. Entertaining is my job. But yeah, so now we're zooming out while Scar and I are looking up. He's talking about it. We're going to go through the roof in a minute. Not like through the roof. We're going to kind of go between parts of the roof, if I did this right. And I think I did. Now, I might have accidentally put a second keyframe really close to this keyframe. So if the camera jumps really hard, we'll know that I didn't fix that as well. Okay, I didn't fix it as well as I thought I did. I was like, I remembered seeing that error, and I was like, okay, let me tweak that. Nope. Okay, so now the camera, yeah, so that was womp womp. Welcome, Minnesota Oozman. Okay. So then Scar is going to run off on his merry way. I go back in the garage. And we are basically done with this. Andy Halka says, who has health insurance? Well, per the custody agreement that I have, I am required to provide health insurance for my daughter or I'm in contempt of court. So I have health insurance and so does my daughter because being in contempt of court is bad. I recommend against it. Okay. Am I going to splice the scenes? Yeah. I'm going to be switching through... I'm going to be switching camera angles in the Final Cut Pro multi-camera editor. Average thing says streaming is significantly more profitable than YouTube videos. Yeah. The tips on streaming are way more. And Patreon also. Animate Barrel says, would you not have health insurance otherwise? Maybe. I probably would, but it would be a lot cheaper. So yeah, if you want to see what that camera, what that camera path looks like here, let's hide this. I'm so used to looking through that menu, I forget that other people can't. But yeah, there's all of those fancy little twists and turns throughout that whole render. So, yeah. Okay. So, now we can go back here, open keyframe presets, and we can hit save as, and we'll say Scar flyby A1, because that's what we did. Yep, it's color coded to show the speed that the camera moves between the two keyframes. Somebody says it looks like a swarm. A little bit. Okay, so now what we can do is we can delete all of these if we really want to. Which we really want to. I guess I can get rid of this for now. So we're keeping the time keyframes in place, but we're not keeping the camera keyframes. So then we can set up some static camera keyframes as well with the same time codes, right? Okay. So we probably want to have like a camera here. Like if we just set this up and how many shots are there where we would, whoops, I meant to hit that. Okay, so Scar comes in. Where is he? Why is my phone not muted? Okay, wait. I got an alert earlier that didn't make a noise. That my mom hearted a movie of my niece. And then I got a new alert that she removed the heart from the movie. And that one did make a noise. It's like, oh, and then she just added the heart back on to let everybody know that she likes the movie after all. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Okay. I'm glad. Thank you. That's fantastic. Good to know. But yeah, I'm not sure where. Hold on, let's zoom out real quick on the timeline here. Okay, so for example, we might want one shot, like a static shot from maybe here, like with the monolith there. We might want a static shot showing kind of all the other builds around here. But like we kind of want to have this in frame is the thing. We had talked about like having the out the window view. Like having like a ghost looking down from up here. Type of thing. Does the camera keyframing have target tracking? Not really. Not with this mod. Okay. Bobo Prime says, greetings, yo. This stream has increased my understanding and appreciation of the work that goes into making this stuff. Yeah, I'm glad to help. Amy Lou says something similar. A lot of people are saying similar stuff. Yep. Okay. Just joining. What's the goal for the time lapse? We are just getting alternate points of view for this extended Scar conversation. Oh, you know what? I realized what the problem was here. It's that we need to go back to this time frame here. That's why nobody was in frame. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so now it's caught up. Yeah, replay mod records all the network traffic between the player and the server, and then you can take advantage of that information later. Okay. So let's see, like, the places we stand. So we stand around there. I mean, in some ways, having a view up the stairs out at the field here might be... This is maybe kind of a cool shot. Like, somebody standing in the doorway looking out would be an interesting static shot. And we do go past there a lot. Plus, then we can get all these other cool builds in there. And like I said, I would just be cutting to and from this. Okay. So, yeah, it only records chunks that are loaded at the time. So you can't... If I started going over here, like the render distance is like 12, I think, on the server, maybe 16. Like, I could get a good ways toward the spider spawner, which is over this way, but I can't actually get down to it. Like, I could go up and around B-Dubs' tower, though, because that's easily in render distance from my house. Actually, I haven't looked at this up close. This is really cool. Well, B-Dubs is so talented. I have been up here, though. But... Okay. How many parts of the episode are out of time, cutting between past and present? I don't know what you mean. I try to record almost everything in order. Sometimes there's weird collabs where I can't, but almost always in order. Yeah, there's no commands here, A67 Shadow. People spend all their time telling computers what to do at their jobs. They don't need them here. Actually, and then this right here might be another good angle. This right here would be another good static shot, actually, because we get the B-dubs tower. We get the house, so people can see what Scar's looking at. Whoops. Oh, yeah, and that's actually kind of cool because it's like it's filmed on Doc's balcony here. So what we can do is we can hit render. And what did I call this one? I called this real-time Scar. And then I will say static door, right? Now I hit add to queue, close. Now I can go in here to the keyframe presets, hit save as Scar static front door A1, save. Okay, now I come in here and I remove these two. Oh, actually, what's the exact angle I want? Yeah, that looks like somebody's watching from the balcony here. That's pretty cool. I like the idea, since it's a haunted house, of having like kind of where would a ghost stand. Although having this from Doc's house is kind of a different idea a little bit, but so then we can say we want to add current configuration, except this time we want to call it Doc A1. So save, add to queue. So now we've got two things in the queue here, right? Now the problem is you can't queue things between replay mod files. So if I wanted to queue 4 things from this one video, like all these different points of view, I can queue those up, walk away. That's fine. But let's say that I had a separate replay mod file where Tango and I were in a discussion or Impulse or something. I can't queue things from the different stuff together. I have to do one replay mod file, run the queue, switch replay mod files, run the other queue. Jar Penny says the file size must be really large for these then. Not really. Minecraft servers limit the communication between the player and the server to 20 kilobits a second. So these files only grow at 20 kilobits a second because replay mod files are just a replay of the network traffic. So there's no graphics or anything except for, like, I guess skins or texture packs or whatever that are sent by the server at the beginning. But yeah. So the videos actually take way more space because they have way more visual information, right? Okay, so I've got 2 of these here. Now, honestly, at this point, we're about 2 hours into this stream, and I've been going all day. So I think that I want to hit render all on these, and then I'm going to figure out who we can raid. But thank you. We got some fantastic raids tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining who raided. Let's go ahead and see who we can send this party along to. Reloading over here. Bum, bum, bum. Let's see. It looks like, if you guys like watching behind the scenes stuff, Ryan McSquid is incredible guy. He's working in his workshop on developing a custom pinball machine based on Sonic the Hedgehog. And he has been doing a ton of work. I've been raiding him for about 1.5 years, maybe, watching this thing go from just a rough concept to something that I think he's actually testing the playfield right now and playing some of the software. So if you want to see somebody build a pinball machine, let's go ahead and head over to him now. When you get there, our raid messages. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills raid here. Anyway, until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Do-do-do-do.